Howdy, Possum Patty here, and today's rainy day project is going to be putting the garden trellis together. Come on along. Step one is to open the box, which is heavy, so I'm working on the floor of the garage here. Mr. Possum handed me a razor. Step two, empty contents of box. And look for the instructions. Step three, panic because there are no instructions. Wait a minute, I think the instructions are wrapped around the screw, so let's take a look at this. And there are no words on the instruction. There is a picture. There is a picture labeling the parts and a picture of what it's going to look like all together. And then a blowout of how to do the top and a little picture of how to do the sides. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is lay out all these parts in the order that it shows. And then just use these screws to put it together. Okay. I'm going to start with all the pieces that look like A. A has a swirl, like that. Okay. And so, 1, 2, 6 on that side. Okay, 6 of those. Done. 4 of those. Okay, one here and one here. There's a pointy end. I'm assuming that goes in the ground. And we got 4 of them. Okay, this is how it looks all laid out. Got all the pieces in order. And the long ones are the A's, B, C, the top piece, and the same on the other side, going all the way down to the G's, which are over there. Now we're going to take a close look here at these pieces, because I can see that you have to have them lined up so that they sort of insert into each other. Okay, now we have to put each section together. I'm going to do one as a demo here. And we're going to go in like this. Go in like that, except, see how these two in the center have holes? Right here, a hole there and a hole there, right there and right there. Okay. Those have to go together on the same side, like that, see? A hole. Now you can see right through there, and then gonna take one of these. I thought they were screws, but I guess they're bolts because there's no pointy end, right? Okay. Put it in there, through the hole. And we got 2 screwdrivers here. That one's kind of little. Try this one. Take it all the way in there. And then the inside of the crossbar is threaded. So that's going to go on here. I'm using my hand to put it in until it gets tight. And then once it gets tight, I'm going to use the screwdriver like that. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Make sure I line up those holes like this. Okay, so you can see the hole there. And then that's going to go on here like that. So we need a screw or bolt. I should say a bolt. Put that there. And gotta go this way. Okay, because it's gotta go this way. Okay, so that is what I have to do to both sides over there. And I'll do that off camera, and then we'll come back and put together the top. I recruited Mr. Possum to help put all those bolts in. And I just want to make a note here that of the straight pieces, like that, the top has to have 4 innies. So there's 2 on that side and 2 on that side, because the first curvy pieces are outies like that. And then we've got the innies here and here. And see, this is an outie, so that'll go inside there. And this one will go inside there. And then at the bottom, you need 4 of these outies like that, because the pegs that go in the ground are innies. And as soon as we get all that done, we'll come back and assemble the top. Before you put the top together, you want to check the bottom and see that the part that goes into the ground, the pointy part, is on the outside. So we have to flip these over before we put it together so that the stakes aren't in the inside, they're on the outside. So Mr. Possum, turn that one over so I can show the folks at home. Okay, so now it's on the right side. The pokey parts that go in the ground are on the outside, and he's turning that piece over. So that's on the outside. And now we're going to put together the top. Okay, now we have 7 pieces for the top. We have these curvy bars first, and then the curve with the flat piece, and then the top, and again the curve with the flat, and then those 2 curvy bars, which will go in this side. So what I'm going to do now is take the packing off the top. Well, I brought over the knife, but I can see that there is just an elastic band on this. I'm going to take this off, and we're going to see the top Ooh, nice. Look at that. What do you call this? A finial? Get this side. And this is the top piece. Okay, and it goes like this from front to back, not side to side. It goes front to back. And then this is going to go on there like that. Hopefully. And then after we get this part done, then we'll attach it to the legs over here. So this is where the washers and the nuts and the bolts come in. There's two holes on each side. And then you gotta put this one on, like that. And put the washer on. And the little nut. Yeah. All right, so like that. There's one in there. All right, now I'm gonna do 3 more. And then we'll come back and do the next part. And Mr. Possum's gonna tighten those up with a wrench and a screwdriver so that they are more than just, you know, thumb tight. And that's what the finished top should look like. And now we're going to use these curvy pieces to attach the legs to the top. You may have noticed at the beginning of the video that I had already put on the curvy piece. Well, I had to take it off and switch that piece with that piece so that I would have the proper ends down there for the stakes and the proper ends up here for the curvy bits. Putting the curvy parts on is just the same as doing the rest of the legs. Insert the innies into the outies and take the bar and put the bolts in. And of course you want the curves to go in like that. And the final step is to put the top on. Oh no, leftover parts. Mr. Possum said that's okay. And voila, it is finished, a fini. Looks like the sun is coming out now. In part 2 of Possum Patty Living puts up a trellis. We're gonna come back and mix up some concrete to anchor that trellis in the ground by the garden. Well, that wasn't too hard of a job, was it? No, as long as we had all the pieces going in the right direction so that they fit into each other. And then, you know, Mr. Possum got out the screwdriver bit for his electric drill. Zzz, zzz, zzz. That made it go a little quicker, yeah. So it came together pretty easily. We took it out to the garden to see how it would look, but then we laid it down flat in case we get a little windstorm this evening. We didn't want it to blow over. And sometime in the next couple of days, he'll get out his bag of cement and we'll put it in permanently. And then I'll grow some flowers. I don't know what I'll put on it this year. Maybe just some morning glories this year. And then we'll see about maybe something a little more permanent for next year. Yeah. Well, I rescued the directions out of the trash where Mr. Possum threw them. And I thought this would be an awesome piece of paper to use as the background. We don't need the directions anymore. For a page in the spring journal. Oh, this is Emma, this shabby chic spring journal. And I thought about just cutting this down a little bit, ripping it around, and maybe painting it or stamping it or spraying it. What can I do? I just want to, put some color on there and use it as a background page. And I'll print out a picture of me and the trellis. And then I was thinking maybe to make a little trellis on the page. I can take some black strips of paper. And, I have these Dollar Tree flowers on the table. I could stick them on there. And, I wonder if I have any more of that ribbon, that green ribbon with the leaves on it. That might work well on a trellis, yeah. Okay, let's do a journal page. Okay, I'm just going to rip this around. I was thinking of using the watercolor because, it's all wrinkly, and watercolors will make it more wrinkly, and then it'll look like it's supposed to be wrinkly, but that doesn't matter, does it? No. Okay, so about that size is good. Let me get this journal out of the way. It's pretty big. I'll put it over there. Just want to get a quick splash of color on here. And I've got out my big watercolor, my big watercolor box. These watercolors have been in there for years and years and years and years, which just proves I need to do more painting, right? And that's really dark, so let's just spread it around a little bit. Now remember, we're just putting some color on the paper. Let's see what goes with green. Yellow. Just having a play like that. Let's see. Blue. Oh yes, that's a pretty blue. This is phthalo blue. Oh, so phthalo green, phthalo blue. And I think this was azo yellow. Just have a play. I was thinking about stamping and everything on here, but, if I'm going to put a trellis and flowers and a picture, I probably don't need more than just some color, right? I'm going to splash a little on here. Okay, I'm going to see if I can dry this so that those darker puddles still stay. Just look how fun and fast and easy that was. Water, put the paint on there, splashed a little bit. I dried it with the heat tool because I wanted to be sure to get all these variegations of different colors on there. All those little splashes and mixes where the blue and the green and the yellow kind of went together. I can still see the trellis, okay? I didn't even pay any attention to that when I was painting, but I can still see it there. And I'm going to glue this down right now. I have an awesome possum peep, Catherine, yes. Now, she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she does journaling. And, in cahoots with her hubby, I've been looking at her work. Yes, Catherine. And I want to share a page with you. Her gorgeous journal page. It's a 1980s retro style. And it's got a painty paper background. And when her hubby showed that to me today, I was like, I'm in a mood to do another painty paper background. So, Catherine, this page is actually dedicated to you. Catherine, you are my inspiration today, and I just want to give you that little bit of encouragement that keep going with your journaling. It is awesome. I love it. I love this retro 80s style. So you had a painty paper background. I'm not sure your process on this page because I only saw the final result, but very inspiring. thank you. And don't get too mad at hubby, no. He just wants to give you a little encouragement to keep going with your journaling, and so do I. I just found a very large piece of black paper, and I said to myself, whoa, put on the brakes. Yes, go look at your scraps first. Hashtag give a scrap. And I found some scraps. So I'm going to cut these up. I'm just going to cut some strips of black and just probably put a couple strips on the edge of the paper here. And I did find some of that green ribbon, and then maybe I can weave this in and out and then glue down some flowers, and I need something to journal on, and I need my picture. Okay, let's do it. I cut some thin strips. I'll probably just use 2, and I'm not going to do the whole arch thing. I'm just going to put something on the side of the paper here. And I could do some cross pieces, but then I was thinking of, you know, the fancy top of the trellis. So I grabbed a couple of dies and a piece of that black scrap paper. And I thought maybe I could use this one for the topper. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect. Possum perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that down and 2 strips, and then I'm going to sort of work this up through, gluing one over and one under, and then put some of the flowers. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, I had this other piece, but I was thinking like this could be the piece of scroll work, you know, that goes in the middle. Oh, yes. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Oh, and then I can just put a couple of little pieces, maybe one at the top and one at the bottom. Well, I think it's starting to look like a trellis. I need to make 2 pieces going across, but I'm not going to glue them down quite yet. Let me just cut them. There's one down here somewhere, or should I put 2? Maybe I'll put 2. I cut a little piece of vine. Now I was thinking, let's see, under, over, under, and put the vine over that part, and then under this part, and then trim it right there at the top, because I want to see that part there. The last piece of the trellis, I'm going to go across there. Wow, I like it. I like it. I think these 2 little die cuts made it really look like a trellis. What do you think? Now we just have to put a few flowers on there. And I think I'll just mix up the colors. Yeah, put different colors. The orange and the pink. Okay, I think we need another orange one. I'm going to trade out that pink one for an orange one. Yes, okay. All right, so I'm going to glue those down and print out the photograph. And I need something to write on, but I'm sure I can find a little journaling card somewhere. Just looking through this bag of scraps, some of these are little frames, but they look kind of big. Yeah, I want something a little smaller. Just looking at these little papers, something I can use as a scrap. I think this goes with that. Flourish. Spring. Take time to smell the flowers. Believe. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Yes, you can. Spring. Take time to smell the flowers. That matches that, so we're going to move it. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. And I may use something like this. But I want to journal somewhere. Where can I journal? I can just write on the page. I could write on here. I could write around the picture. Put the picture there. Cut these flowers out and decorate. And I could use some words because, you know, you got them, you got to use them. Take time to smell the flowers and build a trellis. You want a little bit overlapping for design reasons. So if I do it this way, then I can see that trellis and this trellis. I've got some ephemera on there, and I just need a space to journal. I could journal on this card. I can journal, take time to smell the flowers and build the trellis. And I'll put a date over here. Let's go for it. All glued down, all journaled, take time to smell the flowers and build the trellis. Put together with Mr. Possum's help on June 6, 2024. New garden trellis for the picnic area. Picture of me. Got the instructions in the background. Had fun building the trellis. Used up some Dollar Tree paper flowers and some very old cutter parts from Michael's. Another fun, bright, colorful page in the spring journal. Love my flowers, love my colors. Yes. I want to thank Mr. Possum for helping me get that trellis put together. It's ready to be cemented into the ground and plant some flowers to grow up on it. Yeah. But I want to thank Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for the inspiration to do a painty paper background. And I want to thank all y'all for coming along today. Yeah. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. When in doubt, play dead. Life advice from an unexpected source. When help finds you, accept it.